take this series as we head into map 1, and a team who, like we said, have been here before, have done it before, and will be looking to do it again.
Yeah, I'm hyped to see what we're going to get from both of these teams right now. As I said, the likes of ckzao, even a player that I haven't seen playing or haven't got to personally cover playing in a long time. Watched him when I first got into Counter-Strike, basically. But here we go, a slower pistol round, a contrast to what we were getting in our previous game for sure, Wolfie. Where it was fast pistol rounds, it was confidence from order pretty much 24/7. Sprout are going to take things a little bit calmer in the initial round here, try and feel it out and see exactly what HUMMER have got to give them. Xbox smoke, take some control and, well, maybe push off it.
They might have short control entirely here. You can see the rotation a little harried. ZQK still stuck in towards CT for now as the utility starts to pop. Flash is good. Spam not quite going to connect. He will spot Rals dropping down, so the forced move is to swing wide instead, and he's got multiple targets to deal with as ZQK opens up. Grabs a second as well inside of that ramp. lauNX at least able to trade for one, but he's isolated now. slaxz doing what he can from inside of Gandalf. Has managed to find one as Stair responds, and 2-on-2. Bomb out in no man's land is going to be the real issue here. Showtime has read it, but slaxz has read it one better, looking for the spam down. Hasn't quite got the ammo as he loses his teammate, but it's a clean one tap. A triple from Gandalf. slaxz is the wizard of the pistol.
It's kind of ridiculous. He gets away with that. Nasty shots all around, though. The first shot especially, catching the player moving up the ramp and then just dealing with that headshot angle on the bomb site twice. All while being pinned in, not overexposing themselves. If he dies, it becomes so much easier because they only have to worry about Stair back on short. It gives them the freedom that they need to get the bomb down, likely at that point as well. So he really was the pivotal player there. And he done, I think, more than could have been asked of him. A pretty safe buy. Mostly rifles coming in for Sprout. They don't want to take too many risks, but you have the force buy in return. 2 scouts, an MP9, some deagles. We know what damage can be done with these weapons, so I'm not going to count HUMMER out right now.
Need to go through your protocols, certainly, of your Sprout. Make sure you're utilizing that extra firepower well. danoco, though, making good work of his scout. Even more from Goose. Grabs a second, tags up the third man. Just doing work at the moment is danoco. slaxz the next to fall to the scout. And just as we're talking about doing your due diligence, it's Sprout who are being ripped limb from limb by the scout of danoco. Rals to try and recover the situation on short, but he's alone now. He's being chased from all sides. He's tagged up by the deagle of ckzao before he goes. And well, 1v3, if he had an AK, maybe you'd start to believe, but he's pinned into mid. delboNi will finish the job, and just like you were saying, Dean, those deagles, those scouts, they can do a lot of heavy lifting.
I didn't really expect it to go down like that, though. danoco is just given so much freedom from up on the bomb set right there. Peeks in, what, like 5 times because he got the 2 tags, then he finished the third player with the headshot, just overkilling it to be safe. Yeah, I'm not sure how he's able to get away with so much, but yeah, I don't think danoco is going to be complaining. It gives HUMMER a fantastic opportunity. They steal some weapons away. They managed to come into this round now without having to even really spend too much. They didn't lose a ton. Sprout's force buy, while somewhat decent with the AK being there, is not all that great. There's not really any utility to back it up apart from a smoke and 2 flashes. And if HUMMER can manage to take this round for themselves, then they'll have a 3-1 start most likely.
Yeah, these force buys, they always get worse round by round. CT side with the advantage for now as Rals looks to swing. MP9 only able to get the one. Stair at least there for the trade. The problem is lauNX on that AK. Tagged down to 20 points of health already. Ideally be looking to get that across to a teammate who can do some more heavy lifting with it. 1:05 left on the clock. Mid control and a 1-for-1. It's not a bad start for the T side. The problem is, with just 1 smoke, 2 flashes left, they've got to work out where they want to end this hit. And with the bomb outside of A long, it looks to be right into the jaws of that Mac 10 of ckzao at the minute.
Smoke going down might change their mind, though, or at least slow them down a little bit, and it's allowed for ckzao to get a bit more aggressive up close on the doors. This will probably work in his favor, especially with these first 2 players being already pretty low, as long as he doesn't get caught by a flash, of course. Here we go, creeping out long. First kill for the Mac 10. Second, he's just going to mow them all down 1 by 1. Okay, eventually Spitty gets him. As an AK as well, maybe he can take 1 more player to the grave alongside him, and good damage being done. 15 seconds, though, to try and get across. He has a smoke, sure, but there's obviously still going to be a gap no matter what. And all three of them at this point are holding the angle, so going down before time is really just the best result that he can find. It's danoco who gets the kill, gets to join in here. I think that's only fair after what he done in the previous round with the scout. Deserves a piece of the action here as well.
Nice little money maker from ckzao this as well. 3 kills on a recovered map 10. Lovely for the finances. Spitty a little unfortunate, you have to say, not to grab that second kill as well. Did fantastic damage, but just the strafe around the corner is enough to keep the man alive. And HUMMER start to build their bank account. ckzao invests very heavily to get the rifles to all 5 teammates, and slaxz with this solo deagle is going to look to try and get a little something special done again, trying to tease his way out those long doors early. Not quite able to find the connection, however. And it should be, without too much trouble, a relatively easy 3-1 start for HUMMER now. Molotov goes down onto short just to make sure you're not overwhelmed, and the protocols for the CT side look solid.
Yeah, it's Dust2. That's really what you need, the basics and land your shots. So if you can do that, and if you can keep things smooth, especially in these early rounds to build economy, then things will be looking good. Definitely seeming like we're going to have a much more competitive matchup here than what we got in that previous game with Encore and Order, of course. Where we kind of knew from the beginning we had a pretty clear standout. I'd probably put Sprout as my favourites here, but that's probably a bit of a bias due to actually getting to cover them. Obviously, with us being from the EU region. Never gotten to cover HUMMER before. Good shot by danoco. Might want to fall back. That bomb definitely not in a position you can hold, and yeah, he realizes that once it's recovered, can perhaps even bait them down into showtime if they do decide to charge out mid after him. So happy enough to play things a little bit safe. They know they're not against much firepower either, and as the short push comes in, it should be an easy cleanup. Nice headshots indeed from delboNi. Looked like he was starting to struggle a small bit until the flash came in. Another clean round. There we go.
Smooth sailing, exactly what you'd expect against that kind of buy. 1 deagle, no concerns whatsoever for HUMMER. They get themselves the 3-1.
Ooh, slaxz on a scout.
He does like to go for that. We've seen it a fair bit. He clearly feels confident on it. We know that the Germans tend to have a little bit of confidence with the scout. I'm thinking of Searson here and his ridiculous antics with it. slaxz likes to try and replicate it. Has had success in the past as well, holding down mid at the moment. Not spotting much of anything, however, as the HUMMER esports boys just playing a nice passive early setup. They wanted that long control, sent heavy commitment there initially. Just now starting to work their way back through CT with danoco, ckzao to back off on short. And again, it's a very passive set from Sprout. This is sort of what I had in my notes for this game, is you expect the Brazilians of HUMMER, especially going onto their T side, to play it quite fast, quite loose. That's been the style that's worked for the region, compared to the much more methodical approach of Sprout. And interestingly, it's been HUMMER whose CT side has looked incredibly well drilled so far. No mistakes, the setups are solid, and at the moment, with a minute left on the clock, Sprout really haven't got anything to write home about. They've taken mid control, sure, but a 3-man short setup awaits them if they want to do anything up there. 2 players over towards the B site. A fast rotation CT available as well. It's a really nice opening set for HUMMER, and they're holding a lot of their utility as well. delboNi and ckzao with near enough full belts of util.
Yeah, I like the idea here. They've managed to creep a couple players out long, but in the meantime, they had one throwing the smoke on B, putting a flash out and such, hoping the beta player into Rals, who at the time was holding for the mid rotation. Now he's actually making his way up short, where he has found the opening eventually. It will not go untraded, sadly, but they don't expect that second player, but it doesn't matter. Oh, damn, I don't know how delboNi gets away with that. lauNX is going to be kicking himself that he doesn't at least get a single kill, as now his teammates making their way up that ramp are going to have some trouble. The smoke leaves their legs exposed. It won't actually allow for the spray down as it looked to be. There gets the trade, and well, with that, the bomb plant, but it's going to leave slaxz alone. He's already gotten 2 of them. Low health on delboNi as well, but he didn't know he had already pushed up close on the bomb site. So delboNi comes in clutch with a triple kill. Plenty of time, of course, for the defuse as well. And a 4th round for HUMMER. It's a closer one, but it is the first gun round, and they win it importantly.
A big win to get. Doesn't matter how close it comes. If you're going to get them over the line, that's the important thing. Bomb plant will allow for a little bit more of an investment into this one from Sprout, however. Scout's going to be dropped across to slaxz again as he looks to continue his streak. Handful of rifles. Spitty dropped an AK to make sure it can happen. slaxz looking for that early peek again. He wants to contest this mid control initially. Up against the AWP, though, he's got to be careful. And aggression this time up mid from Showtime will be countered. slaxz with the early 1-for-1. The long control taken as well. I'm not sure ckzao's expecting this kind of a close player, but he reacts well to it. And the trades, once again, they're messy, sure, but they're going the way of HUMMER.
Yeah, I like the change up in this round. This is when they threw the aggression at Sprout after Sprout in that previous round playing so slowly for the first minute plus of the round, expecting it to come in and then never getting it. This time they're caught off guard by the early aggression that does come through. Nice timing on the long smoke as well, going to keep both of those players at bay, and a deeper molly forces them back out of the longhouse. Still a minute, so loads of time for Spitty and slaxz to decide what they're going to try and do with this, but it's going to be a tough recovery for sure. They definitely still want to move back in towards long, it seems. delboNi is heavily committed in fairness up on blue. If he can come away with at least one, just to confirm where the last player is, of course, and keep the advantage, and that will be enough. And there you go. He's already got one and the second. Jesus. delboNi, danoco, all the Ds are feeling it right now.
And there it is, the first tactical timeout called by Sprout. And this is going to be the concern now. Feels like HUMMER have hit the ground running, looked very solid in these opening engagements. There's been no gimmies for Sprout. It felt like on a couple of those buys, they're just holding for aggression, right? We saw two players holding outside long, a couple of players holding in towards mid. They're waiting for a push to come that's not being given to them. Well, certainly not with at least some utility to support it, and that's being punished well. HUMMER now walking into the double AWP setup against another half buy likely. slaxz has gone for the hero rifle, wants to be the man to make a difference. Currently topping the ADR over on that T side of things, so it's an understandable choice, but on your map pick, it feels like Sprout, we need to start seeing some impact out of them sooner rather than later. Need to start seeing them stretching their legs on this map, and it's going to be a full long commitment to try and do just that. All five players ready to hair it out long at a moment's notice. ckzao molly goes to blue, but they're going to charge through instead. The flashes, fantastic, blinding everyone up, but it's a blind delboNi with zqk there to support, who managed to drag it back to a man advantage for this CT side. zqk then boosted onto the site itself wisely. Looks to reset on his angle. Smokes go out to allow the cross. But the problem is the rotations. They're not even bothering on HUMMER. They've got a couple of players here. They trust them to have the impact. Boost over the top of the smoke isn't going to be expected, though, and zqk, punished by Stare, will open up the site itself.
Yeah, do need to be cautious with the damage that's done, though. Thankfully, no nade to come in and do any further damage for now. There's a molly, though, which likely will be used in this retake. Taking a bit of time, though. They were expecting maybe someone to still be lurking in deep on mid. So, unfortunately, that's actually wasting a good few seconds that they could otherwise be using to move in on this retake. And, well, let's see. Scout deep in on long. That's in the hands of Spitty. He'll be able to play out that time. Bomb. Ralz is very low health. If that molly went a little bit deeper and actually landed on the bomb site, he would have been dealt with instead. He's able to stay alive and be a nuisance as he comes away with one kill. Knife in hand, the time already ticking away. They're going to get him, but he was sitting on the bomb. I don't think they have time, do they? It's very close. No, they don't. The bomb actually does manage to explode in the end, so Sprout come away with it. As I said, because of that one kill pretty much that Ralz was able to find. If that molly landed as they intended on the bomb site, he would have been dead.
It's an awkward one. Sprout get away with it. A little bit of a gotcha play, really out long with the flashes just charging through. Holding W and going for it, and it manages to net them the victory that they've so desperately been looking for. All about the conversion here, though. The rifle's back out again. Only the single AWP afforded. zqk with the duties. Posted for the moment on car. They're actually going to concede the early long control here, the CT side. And zqk will be flashed off this angle. Tags up Spitty. But now they know where he is, and you can see the utility starting to come over. zqk knows he's got to change his angle. Got to look to get out of dodge. Tags exchanged. And now he's in real trouble. That car, very spammable. They know they've got him down low. There's a couple of low players on the T side of things as well, but they've got him pinned in. HE not quite enough to finish the job on the AWP, and now the utility comes out from the CT side. Smoke to feign the escape hasn't actually been seen yet by Sprout. slaxz just working his way in towards the pit, looking to post on that AWP battle. And ckzao will be able to get out alive. It's good damage. Unfortunate not to find the kill, but with 2 players tagged down low and long, the only area that Sprout really have any control over, this starts to get awkward, and you can see HUMMER looking to take advantage. danoco pushing up mid is going to start to take all of the exit routes away from this T side.
Yeah, they're just sandwiched in on long at this point. They've got to make the commitment happen, basically, and they will start putting down the smokes, but 35 seconds. Thankfully, there's no mollies. If there was mollies to go down on ramp, if there was nades to waste further time around that ramp area, there would be a lot of trouble for Sprout, but they still need to find these entries as they move in. delboNi, he's the one immediately in on the bomb site. Actually loses his support in the background before the fight really begins. Still comes away with 2 kills at least to make it doable, and as the op picks one up as well, it flips back in favor of the CTs.
They know where Rolls was. They've got that info. slaxz is trying to give him a little something to work with. It's going to be on the timing of this flank. slaxz might have a freebie here. Legs up, ckzao through the wall, but that gives the game away. Showtime there to find the kill, and it's all on Rolls again. This time 1v3, spotted out by the jump. Nice taps for one, takes the dig through the box on the chin, but it'll be ckzao. I think that was a jumping wallbang as well as he finds the conversion. HUMMER have their 6th round, and they find an immediate response as well, the CT side. This is looking solid from them. They've got a decent read on what Sprout are doing, and they're finding some nice counters as well, even managing to grab themselves a double up.
Yeah, I mean, good work, obviously, finding the long control there early on for Sprout, but they need to make sure they keep a bit of presence elsewhere. That's what really ended up being obviously the problem right there, because they just got sandwiched in. They found some good entries. They managed to do a decent job moving in onto the bomb site, but having no presence elsewhere just meant that HUMMER knew exactly what was going on, and of course with that, just have everyone prepared already. 6-2, a tactical pause comes in again. This time it's Sprout who are having a chat about the buy that likely will come in. I mean, there's 2 players who can only just about afford rifles. They wouldn't get any nades, so it looks like they might actually go for the half buy. Okay, I'm fine with it. It's still relatively early days, so you can get away with it right now. If they were to go for the force and then have to eco in the next round, that would be a really awkward position to be in.
slaxz again, looking for the hero play on the scout. Showtime not quite able to punish. Same util as in the pistol. Fast Xbox smoke. This time not really used. Handful of players instead looking to clear these upper tunnels. Split in towards mid later on in the round. And again, Sprout happy to slow things down. Just trying to clear these initial angles with the rifles that they do have afforded to them. Stare on the AK. Scout for slaxz as he starts to work his way down mid. Trying to use that extra movement speed to his advantage as well, staying scoped up as he sprints across top of middle. Nobody there to see him though, and again with 1:05 on the clock. Mid control established, but not much else. They're trying to use the pistols to bait and switch. Showtime gets one, and that's the scout of slaxz gone early. 2-man hold in towards this B side. Looks like it's going to be tested with a mid-B split, and there's support available. delboNi starting to peer out of that window now, spots out multiple bodies. Knows he's got a job to do. His teammate blinded up by the flash. danoco does well for one, but he's lost his support lines. The spray down still is fantastic. And it's Spiddy alone, trying to be a bit cheeky around the edge of the smoke. He gets a 1-for-1, but that's it. danoco, the hero of the round, in towards that B site, able to anchor it down despite losing his teammate. If he'd gone down early there, then that would have been a completely different equation on the retake, and you can tell that Sprout sense it. Going for the buy into this one, they've started to feel like they're getting close to breaking down the defense.
Yeah, getting close. They are definitely edging towards it, but to try and crack through pretty soon, because we do need to remind everyone this is Sprout's map choice. Nuke comes up next, which Sprout definitely can play. But HUMMER coming in with it as their pick, you've got to imagine they've got things prepared for it. They'll be ready and they'll be hyped if they're able to steal away map 1 here as well. I'll have to see. Sprout obviously were aiming towards getting as strong of a buy here as possible after that previous eco, so this is where they need to make it start working. Keep one player out mid, smoke down on the left side, normally can be used to maybe creep a player towards the spawn even, but for now they're more so just having it in place so that it will, I guess, have those B players questioning as to whether it's a possibility or not. And as we can see, it's actually a 3-man B stack, so this is a bit of a change up from HUMMER, maybe expecting the play, of course, to be directed over there, since it hasn't really been much of a target for Sprout. And it doesn't look like it's going to become one anytime soon either.
It's an awkward one for Hummer. They thought they had a read. 3 players posted. danoco doing what he can to wrestle back control of the situation. But it will be the A site conceded. Showtime just about posting himself in towards pit before that bomb gets planted. It's an awkward retake as well. Sprout not really managed to get themselves into the best afterplant position. Stuck inside of the site for the time being. Smoke is good, and ckzao just goes a little early there. Flash is not quite ready to support. slaxz with 1 kill to his name, looking for a little bit more, and actually it looks like the CT side are thinking about exiting already. Spitty looking for the denial, gets a very awkward fight in towards mid. He'll go down, but he's bought time for his team, who are looking to hunt these rifles down as well. They know they've got the CT economy on a knife's edge, and they want to take as much away as they can alongside getting their 3rd round.
Terrorists win.
7-3 on the board. Sprout able to buy up, and of course with those saved bits and pieces, we will see Hummer getting something together. Not the greatest buy in the world. Missing utility on several, looking to be a bit cheeky in mid, and slaxz very nearly there with the punishment. Not quite able to find the connection, however. Showtime looking to put pressure in towards mid. Stare and Spitty with some decent damage. ckzao posted. Just starting to work their way in towards short now with the utility. Just posting. Starting to posture their way through. Short control taken. Utility bled away. This is more like it from Sprout. This is closer to what we were expecting from them. Bleeding that utility dry from the CT side. Showtime now the only player with anything at all, and it's a single flashbang to his name. So as they queue behind this last smoke, ready to hit the execute. 45 seconds still left on the clock, and there's basically no utility left for this CT side. It's all on guesswork. It's going to be the mid-B play. ckzao is posted well. delboNi has managed to find 1. Stare edge of the smoke is going to be punished by danoco, and this is falling apart at the seams. ckzao grabs another. This mid-B split, well, it hasn't even made it to B. Ral's trying to get through those doors. The flashbang is good. slaxz will find 1 to respond, and a missed shot from ckzao, but he's got his teammates there to back him up. Showtime comes in with the double, and it's an 8th round on the board for Hummer.
Hello, can you hear me now?
I can indeed.
I was having some troubles with the Go XLR software. A little bit of a crash, so couldn't hear. Not ideal for our current situation, but it looks like a little bit of life was found for Sprout while I was fixing my issues, and then kind of quickly snatched away again. We'll have to see whether they can get anything now with what is a bit of a shaky buy, to be honest. They've got a Galil in there, they've got a Deagle. Good nades, though, and overall a chance to hopefully salvage something with this T side. An opportunity to line them up for Rals. Only comes away with the 1 kill, and actually didn't even get any further damage on top of it, surprisingly. But as the trades come to a stop in the end, it actually is the 3-on-2 for Hummer. So they've come away with the advantage yet again. It's going to be both slaxz and steer in towards long, but the problem is, again, they don't have control elsewhere. They don't know if anyone's pushed up in the B tunnels. They don't know if anyone's pushed towards the mid doors either. So they need to get a move on, as you can see, pretty quickly.
They've got the second smoke. Can create the wall here. Deny ckzao the information. Bait the Molotov out as well. Timing going to be everything. The smokes won't yet fade, but the bomb isn't actually committed to the site itself. That's still on the back of slaxz. It is in towards long. They're hoping to feign the idea that they've taken this A site. Bait out some over-aggression from the CTs, but ckzao is giving them nothing. Tucked into the elevator. slaxz only now just starting to work his way across. Has to be silent with it. That scope sound will be heard, and ckzao is there to punish. The silence not quite found. That's bomb down as well, out towards the car. He knows there's a possibility someone crossed. Won't expect Stare to be all the way up on site, though. And 1v2, that bomb is going to be the real issue now. He's got to go back to car, manages to find the recovery just before that smoke pops. Will at least be able to get it down by a little bit of money, a little bit of time for his team in this round. Molotov goes too deep, not quite going to catch him. The HEs will continue to tickle away, however. Showtime switches to the USP, knowing the damage is there. Stare, desperate for a headshot. Knows it's got to be a clean kill, and he's found it. danoco goes down. Showtime on the USP will find the conversion. A 9th round on the board for HUMMER. And you have to say, those A-long takes for Sprout are where they're finding the vast majority of their usefulness. They're getting out A-long, they're finding trades, and they're keeping themselves in the game pretty much single-handedly through that.
Yeah, considering how effectively they are finding the long control as well, you could imagine they can probably dedicate a player or so less so that they can maybe try and get short as well, set up for the split, or at least have that presence around lower tunnels, etc., so that they can fall back, that they don't have to commit the long. Because how successful they've been on long, as we've said, and how often now they have committed, they could probably sell out a fake pretty easily just by taking the control. Looking a bit different though in this round, considering they don't have a great buy. Limited on the ranged weapons, only a Galil and an AK and the Eagle, I suppose, in that regard as well. They're not looking for anything quick, it doesn't seem. Fairly standard default right now. Leave one to watch the long doors initially from spawn, group up in B, wait for the nades to be used up, and maybe catch danoco, who's actually playing quite aggressive.
Opts to back off at the right time. Couple of warning shots fired. Instead now, just shouldering with the smoke. Is trusted to solo hold that B-bomb site. 4 players waiting for him at the moment. They're going to go straight through his utility. Blinded him up beautifully. He drops back to car. The flank has been dealt with. And that means danoco can just keep an eye on things. Look to hold down as long as he can. Manages the one. The trades are solid for now. Man advantage still there just about for the CT side. delboNi not quite able to land his shots, but the damage is good regardless. Ra's down to half HP with bomb on his back, is still going to make that treacherous cross inside to the site itself. And with 3 players, eyes on those doors, eyes on that window, it is not going to be an easy cross by any means. No utility really to get him over here beyond that one flashbang. delboNi and ckzao post. ckzao just watching for any kind of play in towards mid. There's the pot flash. And we'll get Ra's over towards the site. Picks up a smoke off a corpse as well. That'll be the bomb plant. Taps it once to bait the aggression, and it is coming in from multiple angles, but he's not expecting window and door simultaneously. delboNi doubles up. 19 kills to his name, absolutely bossing this CT side as he finds double digits for his team, and Sprout in disarray.
Yeah, I'm loving what we're seeing from HUMMER. As I said, I didn't really know exactly what to expect from this lineup, even though there's some familiar names, some very experienced Brazilian players. I haven't got to cover them. I hadn't really seen them play any live games either, other than just having a look back at some of their previous matches and how they've gone. I didn't have much of a feeling for them, but they've come in and they've made Dust2 look easy versus Sprout, and that's not necessarily an easy thing to do, so definitely impressive. Good net damage, not as much as you would have thought. They're on the stairs, slightly protected by them, not as much as they used to do before the slight change in how the collision with the nade worked. Short aggression from delboNi, a bit of a change up with that smoke, as you can see, of course expected though, so he's not really going to be getting away with it. And I think he's happy enough to fall back at this point and just ensure that he's at the very least put the thought in the mind of Sprout that he could be aggressive. It'll waste time, it'll waste utility as they do move towards short control, if they do. And really, with it being his scoreline, I was going to say getting in their heads is as much of the game as anything else. And there you go, he goes back in for the kill even.
An awkward one as well, a messy spray, but he still gets the better of his opposition. Stair goes down. And that's full short control now, because lauNX cannot afford to contest it, can't afford to go down isolated. Short control taken. Late long play to be called. ZQK is here, will be flashed off the angle. How aggressive he chooses to be on the repeat may well decide how this round ends up. lauNX spotted in towards those lower tunnels. The cross towards site, smoked off now. ZQK trying to play above the smokes, but Ra's close to the angle, won't be spotted yet. And ZQK trying to back away. lauNX, meanwhile, picking him off on shorts, making it awkward. And Ra's has got the AWPer. danoco finally puts the flank down, but it's 3-on-3. With danoco on low HP, this starts to get ugly. They want the long control, but the AWP is going to be there in time. slaxz is ready and waiting on that angle. Spitty ready and waiting on the ramp, and it's 2 quick kills that surely shut this round down. 4 on the board. Sprout find their response late into round 14.
Yeah, and while a 5-round T side wouldn't be amazing here on Dust2. It would be a pretty good recovery considering how poor it had been looking for them. And honestly, it's pretty likely considering this buy that's coming out now from HUMMER. So yeah, you've got to say a decent opportunity. 5 rounds, get the pistol, suddenly up towards 8 maybe, depending on how the early rounds go. Not to see though, because you've already, I was going to say, had the scouts do some pretty serious damage for HUMMER. Sadly, danoco doesn't have one. He's rocking the M4 instead. A downgrade considering what we had him do, what he was able to do with a scout earlier on. A decent entry in towards long on Showtime. The problem is, again, Sprout have all of their players in towards long. With that, HUMMER have pushed a player through lower tunnels. They push one through upper tunnels as well. And they should be pretty much aware that everyone is over towards long.
At least for the time being. They haven't opted to go all the way through to suicide. And that's going to make life awkward because you can see Sprout doubling back now. A couple of players aware that they've given up this control. They're going to go for the retake. And because of that initial posturing, you can see HUMMER started to think it had to be the A play. 3 players now poised here. And if ckzao doesn't do well, doesn't find at least a kill, if not more, they could be in some real trouble here. danoco trying to deal with the lurk of slaxz, can't quite find it, and now that MP9 is known. He's doing all he can, but it's a 1-for-1. Bomb to be recovered, and there's 2 isolated fights on either side of the site. delboNi is isolated on A, but it's the scout who very nearly gets it done. lauNX will put him down, but he's low HP due to the tag, and 1v1, he just about manages to jump the bullets. Plenty of time left on the clock as the molly goes down. Will allow for that plant to come through. delboNi with no utility, so he's just going to have to try and be cheeky with it. He spots his man, but lauNX has got him. 10-5 as we head into the half. A late recovery from Sprout as they look to make their own map viable.
Broken bones and a bloodstained flag. Open road and nomadic plans. In a quiet town, bodies fall upon sacred ground. Burn that flag and a king is crowned. Coming to get you. I'm coming. I'm
A late recovery from Sprout makes this one feel viable, but HUMMER had their foot on Sprout's throat early on. A solid CT side sees them lead 10-5. And with a pistol conversion off the back of it, they will be in the driving seat on Dust2, Dean.
Yeah, as they were pretty much that entire first half, in fairness. We'll have to wait and see if they're able to pull this one off or not. Pretty heavy on the nades, actually, considering it's Dust2. Probably indicates a smoke either towards Xbox early on, and then maybe one on towards the bomb site, or else the two of them to be used over towards long so that they can actually cross. And, well, that's looking to be the slightly more likely option, considering the early positions from the T's. No one for Sprout towards long. Instead, you get this lower tunnel push, which is going to be interesting. Unfortunately, there's no one actually coming in this direction, and for now, HUMMER are even watching for any mid-aggression, so they can't really follow up with it.
It's an interesting call by Sprout. Feels like it might be some sort of preset idea. Read onto what this T-side are going to look to do. And as they charge up short, it looks solid initially. Stair not quite able to find his shots. However, it's a very ugly fight. It's being charged down by the Glock of ZQK, who will find him. And actually, off the back of that, they want to bail out of this one entirely, HUMMER. They realize they've got the B player in danoco. Well, he's got the flank. B site wide open for the taking now. CT flashbangs being used against them. And with lauNX dinked up in that early contact, it should be a free plant. Should be a free round if we're being honest. As Showtime deals with Spiddy, that should be job done. lauNX looking crispy for one, but he needs a hell of a lot more where that came from. He knows there's a flank somewhere. He knows he's only a bullet from death, trying to cover every angle at once. Surely impossible for the new boy on Sprout, and indeed, ZQK will put him down. That is some really nice mid-round calling from HUMMER.
Yeah, as soon as they realized that player was in lower and that he wasn't landing any of his shots, unfortunately, things just got a little bit awkward for Styr. He had his chance to take out at least one of them with him. Sadly, didn't manage to pull it off. It's just a convincing pistol round pretty much all around there from HUMMER. Again, I like what we're seeing. The teamwork, as you said, the mid-round calls, how they're able to swap it up on the fly. We've seen that even from their CT side, how they were changing it round to round. Well, we're seeing the same approach from Sprout pretty much here on their force buy. Wasn't expecting this. They've got a double op set up alongside some deagles, and well, they've lost long control already, sadly, and Spiddy going in for the repeak is going to be pretty quickly punished for it. Smoke down. They don't really need to make this commitment happen too quickly here.
They've got time, they've got space. slaxz on that double scout, has the second. Wants to make it sing. This time he's going to be put down before he can make it to Gandalf and have some more heroics. And danoco continues to put Sprout down. A big spray transfer. Leaves Stair alone in the 1v5. Stuck in towards short. Looks for maybe a rifle to carry home with him. HUMMER will be looking to take everything out of the equation, though, in Showtime. This should be a relatively simple corner to check. Indeed it is. Takes the tag on the chin. 12 on the board, and this is the concern for Sprout, right? 10-5 half, it looks pretty decent, but when you lose the pistol, lose the conversion, you're down a force buy. You're looking at 13-5 before the rifles even start to come out, and that is one hell of a lead to try and drag back.
Yeah, and then you stress the point that this is Sprout's map choice, and you start to realize how poor of a situation they really are in. We mentioned it though. We said when the veto came through, when we saw Dust2 as the map that they chose, that it's a risky pick really for anyone in any situation. Even if your opposing team isn't all that great at it, it doesn't rely massively on strategy. It relies mostly on kind of getting the basics and then just coming together as individuals. And right now, HUMMER are doing a much better job at that. Especially danoco, he's on point. delboNi's had some amazing rounds. Showtime and ZQK showing their experience as well, putting in a pretty solid performance, and well, at the moment just seem to be outmatched. A little bit of a dink there. Not bad from Styr. He gets away with more than he should have on the pistol, but sadly, doesn't really seem like there'll be much more. There's an AK.
That's a save. Get that into the deepest corners of Dust2 you can find and keep your hands on it, because 13-5 down, you're going to need it. Spiddy, I wouldn't mind Spiddy going for a little extra here. Just you're going for something a bit cheeky. That looks like it is the call as well. He's going to go in towards the upper tunnels. Hope to catch someone on the timing. Got his Zeus out. Here we go, boys. Oh, Showtime's read him. Head ripped off before he can get the comical. I'm not even going to bother trying to replicate the sound. I was thinking about it. That I value what little of my career remains far too much to do that. lauNX going to look for some exits, though, and he will find ZQK. So that's a nice little pickup again, making it a little more expensive. HUMMER get the 13th, but it's not without cost.
Yeah, I mean, considering what they were up against, definitely a little bit too expensive for their liking, but they still keep the kind of minimum of 3 standing they can rebuy, and, well, hopefully that 1 AK that they gave over the lauNX won't be too much of an issue. He's been looking a little bit slow, I suppose, to start, but he still showcased some nice moments. He's shown us that crispy aim, so maybe with the AK now he can come alive. I think this is just a straight up B rush, is it? It's only 2 Galils, so it'd be a strange choice. If they had multiple Mach 10s in a bonus round, I'd say yeah. And it doesn't seem like they really were planning the full-on rush. Instead, wait out the molly, now put the nades down, and for the moment, anyway, there's only 1 player in on the bomb site itself.
Screaming for the rotations. The smokes will keep them busy, though. Fully blinded, danoco gets 1. That smoke just a little too late. Allows Rolls to respond, and the flash is magnificent. ZQK just about able to bail his teammates out and keep the trades even for now. ckzao is trying to play this smoke that was dropped by the CT side, but instead it's his undoing. danoco trying to wrestle back control of this round, but him and delboNi have got no health whatsoever. Charging into this B site on a little bit of a bonus round, as you said, with the Galils. They've managed to get it, but it's cost them near enough all of their health, and at this point, baiting the bomb plant, danoco knows they need a kill here. Stare is thinking about jumping through that window at any moment, but the double dink through the wall will do it, and slaxz on 31 HP, last up, Orpa, as they're going to try and push him as 2, split the sides, nothing he can do. That is brilliant. Again, HUMMER just playing with intelligence, 14 on the board, and the late B pop is the one that gets them it.
It's unfortunate. If slaxz knew that they were both low, he could have fell back to the pistol, might have actually had a little bit of a shot at maybe pulling off that clutch, but yeah, you don't expect the crazy 2-man push to come out door and window, especially when you might have a slight idea that they are tagged up a bit as well.
It's just genius. I love it. I love everything about that play. It's just the one thing that slaxz is never going to be thinking is going to happen, right?
Exactly. He was composing himself like, okay, come on, I can get in. I can make it through this window. I'll catch 1 kill as I... Never mind, I'm dead. He was trying to plan out the retake in his mind. They needed a tactical pause afterwards to compose themselves. Mixing together words there.
Nice. Yep. Flash is perfect as well. slaxz is blind. Nothing he can do. 14-5, and we're starting to get towards last chance saloon for Sprout.
And he's 6 kills for danoco. What a game he's had.
Fire.
He kickstarted their performance as well with that scout round.
Out long this time, delboNi first into the charge. Stare is desperate for this long pit control, and he's going to get it as well. Deals with delboNi. Man disadvantage for the first time in a while. HUMMER falling back onto what they think is their safe default, looking for that mid control. Pop flashes out. Heavy commitment to a mid-B split, at least in principle here. ckzao gets 1. lauNX again is there for the trade, but it's the B site that's lost in the meanwhile. Spitty through the smoke has to commit, knows he's got to get something going for his team. Finds at least 1 and starts to flank quickly through these tunnels. Bomb will go down in the meanwhile, so the finances will be secured for HUMMER. 2v3 after plant to deal with, though. ckzao, no, the only man with anything, and it's only a HE to work with. They're going to need the kills, and they're going to need them quickly here. Spitty, his flank timing may well be key. Multiple angles for this Orpa to watch. It's a missed shot from ZQK, punished. And now ckzao, he gets 1, but his position is known. slaxz is quickly there to trade. And the start of what will be a very long comeback road if they want to get it going has just begun for Sprout. Double up setup saved as well.
A little bit preemptive on the transfer there towards the window. If it was like a second later, maybe he would have caught him with it. Nice attempt, though. HUMMER at least make that a costly round, so while Sprout do manage to kickstart their CT side here with a round, it's costing them everything, as you can see, to actually reinvest. Gonna be pulling out a double up setup, though. Right into the deep end with it. Cost them a lot, of course, in order to get that second one out, but maybe worthwhile if they can use it to lock down the CT side and somehow manage a faultless half. Gotta be what they're aiming for really right now, of course, with the comeback being necessary. Nuke up next, as we mentioned. Traditionally was a good map for Sprout, but I haven't seen a ton of it from this lineup. Oh, that nade. Damn. Second one thankfully fell short.
If not, it would have been a very rough start. Mid control taken, though. HUMMER continuing to want to harass this B site. Clearing the tunnels. Sprout again, happy to settle into this very passive style. Sitting on their angles, waiting for the peaks to come to them. I'm actually looking to double back into short here. They haven't really put any stress on the defense yet, so slaxz and Stare have both still got some nades. Having said that, one is out long. So slaxz the only person who can really drop anything, and for now he'll want to remain scoped up. On control refreshed, and 40 seconds left. HUMMER in a bit of a bind here. They're going to have to commit to the straight short play. There is 2 AWPs holding this exact hit. Not something you normally see in the setup, but slaxz and lauNX will be hoping it does good for them. The flashes are good initially. slaxz misses a couple, lauNX one more, but he manages to escape with his life. The Molotov a little shallow, and now that AWP is just raining down terror. The flashes are decent, but the trades are even better for Sprout. slaxz just has to stay alive. 15 seconds left. If he can hold this ramp, he's going to cause nightmares. ckzao in amongst the chaos has at least managed to get that bomb down, but slaxz on the quick scope has managed to find delboNi, and inside of his own smoke, he's still causing havoc. Low HP. He's got another, and it's ckzao alone against 3. slaxz desperate to be the hero of this round. ckzao gets 1, but the trade is immediate, and from inside his own smoke on the ramp, slaxz finds himself a triple kill hold, and that is simply magnificent from the AWPer.
Yeah, not a way that I think is going to be used to replicate too many rounds, but definitely a hero play that was necessary in the moment. They'll need to see a bit more consistency across the board from everyone for them to truly make this comeback happen. That not show as a no-scope? Looked like a no-scope. Either way, a fantastic round from slaxz. 14-7. Half of the score of their opponents is what they're currently sitting on, and that's got to be a daunting scoreline to be looking at, a daunting task to have ahead. Flash out long. delboNi does have a decent spawn, but he's already beaten to the corner, unfortunately, and well, despite the flash being good, just a timing shot as most would do towards that long corner. Really standard on the angle, so yeah, a bit unfortunate for delboNi. But he's still got, importantly, danoco standing. He's been an absolute boss so far.
Like the boost from ckzao, trying to give himself an off angle, and slaxz jumps right into it. danoco gets another. B aggression will at least be traded back into an even 3-on-3. If danoco had managed to double up, the B site was open for the taking. Flurry of kills comes through, and it leaves HUMMER with a little of a lack of map control. They're going to manage to make their way out long here. All 3 now just looking to death ball it. lauNX on that AWP will be key. Posted into CT. They've got the smokes to lock him out of this, and that would be a free cross to the site. The only player they then have to worry about is Spiddy up on short. Molotov would deal with him. There is a way, a world when HUMMER get into this side, but they've got to clear it, and with 45 seconds left, run boost across, doing their homework here. The problem will be as they go silent, Sprout will start to smell a rat, starting to push, starting to get fidgety out towards short. Here comes the smokes. That will give the game away a little bit. Gap in them as well, mistimed, and that could spell trouble. Nice pot flash, gets 2 across. ckzao will remain towards the car. He'll want to post on an after plant, but they've got to get this bomb down first, and Spiddy is looking to deny just that. It's a 1-for-1, but Showtime still isolated, and Rals is making his way back up towards short, yet to get this bomb down. They've got to get it planted now, and ckzao makes sure that they can with 10 seconds left. Showtime has to plant in the open. That molly means it, and he still finds the kill. 15 on the board for HUMMER. They are thriving in the chaos at the moment. Sprout thought they had it. They thought the time would be enough. Showtime had to plant in the open, but he trusts his aim, trusts his AK, and finds the critical kill.
Yeah, could have gotten dangerous if a few shots were even baited out rather than the full commitment, but Sprout, unfortunately, do let the 15th round slip, and the best now they can do is fight for an overtime here on Dust2. Not a fun position to be in. ckzao working with the long spot to spot the shoulder, and Nade's going to go down and maybe do some damage. Although no, they managed to avoid it, so not a lot going on with that initial exchange. Some nades used up, a couple of shots fired off, but that is it for now, as it seems to just be a pretty standard default from HUMMER. They'll work towards the lower control, maybe up short, knowing that they're against a fewer weaker weapons as well. I don't know if they'll really want to be aiming towards B. You'd imagine that's probably what Sprout are hoping for.
This kind of stack they have to be. MP9's up close and personal. Hope you can get a lot of the heavy lifting done. ckzao just posted for any aggression from the CT side. But again, HUMMER have been very happy just to sit in this initial control, take what's given to them by Sprout, not look to push their luck too far until late into the round. Bleed that utility away. Now just 2 smokes and a flashbang remaining for this CT side. One of them admittedly is on Ralls. With 40 seconds left, if he drops that on a nice timing, it's going to make for an awkward fight in with 3 players ready and waiting. Ralls spots them. There goes the smoke. That buys so much time, and you can see HUMMER a little bit cautious now. They're going to actually try and sneak out, maybe try a mid-B split instead. Timing is going to be everything. 25 seconds left on the clock. They've got the utility to do whatever they want, but they've got to make a commitment, and they've got to make it now. It's going to be up short. Pop flash out. Showtime ahead of the pack is just trying to clear the way, see if he can spot anything out. slaxz in towards the ramp will be screaming about this utility. Waits for his timing, but he can't land the shot. Showtime with the punishment. And now that death ball becomes an afterplant that is truly ferocious. ZQK, he's posted on short, waiting for this exact push. Misses his first shot. He's got support behind him. Looks to reset his angle. Hits the one. Teammates are there, but danoco misses the shot. ZQK needs to land it and does. And Stare is alone. 1v4 on his map pick to try and keep his team alive. He dinks ckzao through the wall, but that gives the game away. They know where he is. HUMMER have done it. 16-7. They steal Dust2 from under the noses of Sprout, and we'll be working out just how they did it in a couple of minutes.